Karen! Tell me where you are. Huh?
Ugh, what do you want, Mikey? I'm at home working, obviously. Where else would I be? I did make it clear you weren't to message me while I'm at work, didn't I? Would you stop this?
You told me remote work wasn't possible in your line of work.
Huh?
You said it wasn't possible to work from home due to the nature of the work you do. I remember it clearly.
Where is all this coming from all of a sudden?
You still don't get it, do you? I know everything, Karen. I'm fully aware you're in our bedroom getting it on with a guy called Chad right now, huh?
Huh?
I wanted to catch you red-handed, so I hatched a little plan. I called both of our parents. Now, all 5 of us are outside and we're about to charge in.
What? No, don't do it! You'll interrupt my work! Gah!
I just handed in the divorce papers. It won't be long now. Once the divorce is finalized, I'll be taking full custody of Elena. This chat will remain in place as a place for us to discuss things relating to our daughter. I'll be renaming it Elena's Parents, and we'll be using it instead of blocking each other. Given that I'm her guardian now, you need to respect her will, so do not under any circumstance attempt to meet her unless she gives you permission.
I'm pleased we're finally divorcing. This has been a long time coming. But I am still Elena's mother, you know. Why do I have to accept you stealing her away from me? I gave birth to her. This isn't fair.
She's still traumatized over what you did. She hates you. If you genuinely love her and genuinely care about her feelings, you need to keep your distance until she says otherwise.
Oh my god. My parents disowned me. Chad broke up with me. I have nothing now. Nothing and nobody in the world who cares about me. What am I supposed to do?
That's not my problem. Maybe you can use this alone time as an opportunity to reflect on how things ended up like this. Goodbye.
Hey, Dad! Are you already on the train home now? Thanks so much for helping me move today. I couldn't have done it without you.
Don't mention it, Elena.
I mean, I will be moving again at the end of May, but I suppose I may as well make the most of my time here.
Right. We regret to inform you we are unable to provide you with a room that meets your wishes during your desired time frame. That's what the real estate guy said, right? I can't believe they mistyped your search criteria. I thought they had systems in place to prevent that kind of thing. Did they say they'd have something available for you at the end of May?
I know, right? I couldn't believe it either. Yeah, they did. It meets all my criteria, but the move-in date was way off, so now I've got to wait 3 months. They really dropped the ball on this one. I feel so lucky Carla's letting me temporarily use her apartment. I know I've already thanked her about 700 times, but can you tell her how grateful I am again?
She's a real darling, huh? Don't worry about it, I'll let her know.
Thanks. She's great. How did you manage to bag yourself such an amazing woman, Pops? When are you guys gonna tie the knot? You deserve to be happy, you know.
Thanks, honey, that's sweet of you to say. I'm not sure, maybe a little longer? I don't want to rush things. Besides, we only just set up our company and we're busier than we thought humanly possible. The long-term vision is to have a company branch in every state on the East Coast.
Wow, you're reaching for the sky, huh? That's my Pops.
I have this surreal feeling of time passing faster than usual lately. I can't believe how much our lives have changed over the last few years. I can't believe you're living on your own as a student in New York now. It seems like only 5 minutes ago you were that mischievous little girl pulling those devilish pranks on me. Not only are you a whole plane journey's distance from our hometown, but this is your first time living totally on your own. I want you to know that you can talk to me whenever you want, about anything.
I know, Dad. That means a lot. Thanks. Dad!
Huh? Elena, what's wrong? How come you're messaging me at this hour?
Were you sleeping? I'm really sorry if I woke you.
You're not struggling with living on your own, are you? It's okay, sweetie, you're never really on your own, because I'll always be here. You can talk to me about anything, whenever you want, and you can come home whenever you want, too.
Dad, help!
What's wrong?
Mom's coming.
What?
Please, this is bad. Listen! I was supposed to be staying at my new friend from college's house tonight. We get on like a house on fire, and she invited me over yesterday. But she got a sudden phone call saying her grandma in New Jersey died today, so she had to go back to be with her family immediately. Obviously, the sleepover is canceled, but she was kind enough to drive me back to my apartment before she headed for the airport. Just as we were pulling up, and I was getting ready to get out of the car, I spotted some middle-aged woman standing outside the front entrance, ringing my doorbell over and over again. That woman was Mom.
Well, what happened next? Did you speak to her?
No, I'm still not ready to do that. Even just the thought of her makes me feel ill. I asked my friends to take me to the nearby internet cafe by the station instead, and that's where I am now.
Call the police!
I'm holding off for now. Don't get me wrong, I will if I have to, but that's more a worst-case scenario type thing.
Why? I hope you're not holding back just because she's your mother.
It's not that, it's the guy she was with.
What, she was with a guy?
How to put this? He looked like the kind of guy who might be involved in some shady activities, like a gang member or something. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but the fact he was with someone like Mom, the way he was dressed, and the big scar he had on his face, I just had to get out of there. You know what else terrifies me? I never even told her my new address, and yet there she is with some creepy guy on my doorstep in the middle of the night, before I've even lived there a month. I did think about calling the police, but I was worried about what might happen to me afterwards if they got told off and found out I called the cops on them. I thought they might hurt me.
Alright, I understand. Everything's gonna be okay. I want you to know that. Can you wait a little longer at the internet cafe for me, Elena? You're not to go back to your apartment until I say so, okay? Sit tight, sweetie. I'll handle this.
Got it. I'll sit tight. Thanks, Dad.
Hey, Karen! What the heck do you think you're doing? Are you still outside my friend's apartment?
Huh? Oh, Mikey. Your friend's apartment? I don't have the slightest clue what you're talking about. Elena's staying in room 202, isn't she? This is my daughter's room. My daughter, who came to live in New York on her own.
Wrong! That's my fiance's room!
What? Your fiancé?
We've been dating for the last 3 years. She spends 6 months of every year on business in New York. She's pretty high up at her company and is expected to attend a lot of important meetings. She figured it would be more economical to get an apartment than pay for a hotel every time, so she rents it as a kind of second home for whenever she's over there on business.
Huh?
I got a panicked message from Elena in the middle of the night, saying she couldn't go home because there was a strange woman outside her apartment calling her name and ringing the doorbell nonstop.
Huh? Oh, wait, that doesn't make sense. I saw Elena coming in here before. You can't fool me.
That's because Elena and my fiancé know each other. They're so close, they're basically family. Do you not think it's more likely that she just has a spare key to the place?
Wait, what? Are you being serious right now?
When I heard you'd shown up out of the blue, I told her to get away and stay away until we could be sure you'd left.
What? Why? I need to see my daughter. Do you have any idea how difficult this makes things for me?
Why does it?
Because Elena is supposed to be looking after me from now on.
Excuse me?
The reason she came to work and live on her own in New York was because she knew I was here, right? She's always so sweet and thoughtful. I thought it was only natural we'd live together in that case. I mean, it doesn't make sense to rent 2 apartments when we're so close by, does it?
What kind of mental gymnastics did you have to pull to reach that conclusion? It'd be impressive if it wasn't so disturbing. Besides, Elena isn't even working yet.
Huh? She isn't?
But seriously, even if she did go to New York to find work, do you actually think she'd want anything to do with you after what you did to us? You betrayed your family, Karen!
Oh my god!
I take it you snapped out of your delusions now. Hurry up and get as far away from that apartment as possible and never go back! I'm gonna have no choice but to call the cops if you refuse.
Come on, Mikey, that's a bit overly dramatic, don't you think? Besides, I'm already inside.
What? Did you break into my fiancé's freaking apartment?
What was I supposed to do? It was cold outside. I didn't think there'd be a problem with me moving in, what with my daughter living here and all.
Moving in? Are you insane? Wait, wasn't the door locked?
Well...
No way. Let me guess, you had that slimebo Chad teach you how to pick locks, didn't you? I know all about his criminal record and his ties to the mafia. He has previous for breaking and entering, doesn't he? Am I right? I'm right, aren't I?
Well...
The landlord told us there are several surveillance cameras set up around the apartment block, and the front door is visible on more than a few of them. You can lie as much as you like, but you'll never get away with this! If you did break in, you're on camera.
Seriously?
I have no choice but to call the police.
No, wait. Please, just wait. Let's not do anything drastic here. Let's become reasonable adults. Ugh! I only did it because I thought it was Elena's room. Anyway, all I did was come to visit my daughter. What's wrong with that? Visiting your daughter isn't a crime.
I have a sneaking suspicion it is a crime, if it involves picking a lock and breaking into someone's apartment. And you don't get a get-out-of-jail-free card just because you didn't think something was against the law.
But, Mikey...
Blatant criminal activity aside, the real problem here is that Elena still hasn't given you permission to meet her, has she?
Huh?
I've taken a neutral stance and always been willing to respect her will since the beginning. I thought maybe she might be ready to meet you one day, but far from it. She says she hates you and never wants to see you again. That means you need to go away and stay away forever. Stop upsetting her, you poisonous woman! You've already done enough damage.
But I'm her mother. She's my daughter.
You lost any right to call yourself a mother when you betrayed us. When you chose to follow your base desires over your family. You'll never meet her as long as she doesn't want to meet you. Got it?
Oh my god. But what are we supposed to do now?
We?
My boyfriend. We just sold his apartment because we thought we'd be living with Elena from now on. We have nowhere else to go.
You did what?
My boyfriend, Tyrone. He may have struggled to hold down a job in the past, but he stopped selling crack recently and he's trying to turn his life around. He was so excited about our new home.
Your boyfriend sells crack?
Sold, Mikey, sold. Past tense. He's a good man with a good heart, I swear. This apartment was a lifeline for him. What are we supposed to do now? Wait, what's that? I can hear police sirens outside. What the hell? Are they here for the neighbors?
The landlord must have checked the surveillance footage. He probably called the cops on you.
What?
Yep, I sent him a message. I'm sorry to bug you in the middle of the night like this, but I think my ex-wife might have just broken into one of your properties. Please don't hesitate to call the cops.
What gives you the right to do that?
What gives you the right to break into my fiancé's apartment? Breaking and entering is a crime, and crime is illegal! You're a criminal, and so is your boyfriend! Are you seriously gonna claim picking a lock and breaking into someone else's property isn't a crime? You don't have a leg to stand on! Of course the cops were gonna come! How else could this have possibly ended?
It was supposed to end happily ever after. This can't be happening.
Good morning, Elena. How you doing, sweetie? I know Carla already messaged you, but just to confirm, your mom got taken away by the police last night, so it's safe to go back to the apartment. There's nothing to worry about, at least for now.
Got it. Thanks, Dad.
Even still, you must be pretty anxious about going back there all on your own.
Well, to tell the truth, yes. Carla's been super kind by letting me stay here, and I'm grateful for that. Really, I am. But the real estate people say they'll have my room ready in about 2 weeks. I was wondering if there's anywhere I might be able to stay until then, just in case.
About that. Carla has a 3-week business trip in New York scheduled to start tomorrow. But she decided to advance her plans and is on the plane as we speak. She'll be landing at JFK soon, and will be with you by this evening.
Really?
Even still, it's probably best you stay away from the apartment for now. She suggested you both stay at a business hotel until you can move into your new place. What do you think?
I think I like the sound of it. Wow, Carla's the best. I love her.
Great. I'll message her with the news.
Thank you. I'm starting to think she's actually a goddess. I want her to be my mom.
She'll be overjoyed to hear that, sweetie.
Really?
Anyway, Carla will be landing at JFK within the next 10 minutes. So how about you two discuss the plan for New York over text while she makes her way to the apartment on the train?
Okay, I'll message her now. Thanks a bunch, Dad.
Just as expected, my ex-wife's new boyfriend was the kind of person it's best not to associate with. I can't help but wonder what the hell must be wrong with her to keep picking guys like that, but it'll probably remain a mystery forever. Anyway, as you saw, the pair of them were arrested after being caught red-handed breaking and entering in the middle of the night. It turns out her and Tyrone, the reformed crack dealer, were both serving a suspended sentence for a previous crime, and they'll be spending a lot of time behind bars real soon. I feel like I dodged a lethal bullet in divorcing her, and I count my lucky stars every day. Not long after the events of today's saga, me and Carla permanently moved our company HQ to New York, where we also now live. Elena still lives on her own, and we want to respect her independence, but we're within walking distance now, and she can come home and hang out with us whenever she feels like it. Oh yeah, guess what? Me and Carla are tying the knot soon. Ever since that day, Elena's been calling her mom, which put the biggest smile on her face. I'm looking forward to the rest of my life with my new family, and I've never been more optimistic about the future. Here's to us!
Excuse me, Angela. Are you there?
Sure, what's up, Lydia? Everything okay?
I hear you're in the process of paying off some debts.
Huh? I'm what?
I was so disappointed you wouldn't believe. Tut, 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 Angela. It's just a good thing we're neighbors, or I never would have heard you discussing it through the walls.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean you eavesdrop on us?
I heard you and Scott talking about it in the middle of the night. I had a cup to the wall, so trust me, I heard everything. $1,000 a month in debt repayments? No end in sight? Just how much debt are you in?
Oh, you heard that. These walls are thinner than I thought. A cup to the wall, though? Have you ever heard of privacy? It's quite a lot of money, but I think if we can keep up with the repayments at the current pace, it might be paid off within 4 or 5 years.
My goodness, you're in that much debt?
Yes, that much. Between all this secret investing and gambling and a complete failure to keep up with the payments back when they were smaller, it seems like this was inevitable. We are married, so of course we're committed to getting through this by working together. I hate to say it, but we're not always able to meet halfway. You have no idea how hard it is to keep up with $1,000 debt repayments every month all on your own. This has really taken its toll on us.
My oh my, Angela, just what have you been doing? As your mother-in-law, I simply cannot overlook this.
Yeah, I totally get that. I wouldn't expect you to overlook it either, but with how Scott's situation is right now, there might not be anything you can do.
I can't believe my son's own wife would place such a crushing burden on him. My poor boy must be going through hell.
Huh? What do you mean?
Basically, what you're saying is that my Scotty's being forced to pay off your debts with his hard-earned money? And $1,000 a month at that. It's hardly pocket change, is it? By the time it's paid off in 4 or 5 years, he'll be, what, $45,000? $60,000 out of pocket? How could you do this to him?
No, wait. You've got this the wrong way round. I'm not the one who's in debt. Scott is.
Oh, this is rich. You're going to try and pin the blame on my Scott because I found out about your little secret? I had no idea you were so shameless. That reminds me, your attitude last night while you were discussing the debt was absolutely atrocious. I could practically feel you looking down your nose at him through the wall. I heard everything. You do know you have debts to pay off, don't you? You need to pay it back, Scott. You have no choice. How dare you speak to my son like that when he's the one paying off your debts? You vindictive, self-righteous liar! He doesn't need to hear any of that from you. I'll have him divorce you, I tell you. Divorce!
You have no intention of listening to me, do you?
I could listen to everything you have to say 1,000,000 times over, and it still wouldn't pay off a cent of the debt.
Fair point. You know what? I've changed my mind. You're right. I don't think there's any point in talking to you when you're in emotional ignoramus mode.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
If you'll forgive me, I'm at work and we're very busy. Let's discuss this properly at a later date.
Don't make me laugh. I have nothing to discuss with an abusive, debt-ridden liar. One thing's for sure, though. My poor son needs protecting from you. He'll be staying next door with me from now on. He'll end up curled up in a ball in the corner of some psych ward if he's around you even a moment longer.
All right, fine by me. I'm going. Bye.
Angela, we're getting a divorce.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about, Scott? Are you still half asleep?
I'm not half asleep. I've had my coffee and my head is clearer than it's ever been. My eyes have opened. It seems like my mom found out about the debt. I was worried at first, but looks like she's actually gonna be able to help me get rid of it. She's lowering me the mother of all lifeboats.
Lifeboat?
She told me if I divorce you, all the debt will disappear and I'll never have to worry about money or repayments ever again. She was really convincing.
Huh, is that so? I see.
She must have a real lace up her sleeve. This is why my mom's great. She was always looking out for me. She's super clever too, so I believe her.
I have a feeling she doesn't have an ace up her sleeve at all.
If I'd known she'd be such a powerful ally, I would have just told her from the get-go instead of keeping it a secret this whole time. So, yep, it's decided. I don't need you anymore. The way you talk down to me like I'm some naughty little kid seriously grinds my gears. And I'm done with it. I'm gonna be free. Yippee! We're getting a divorce.
Good grief, you're beyond saving. I'm at work right now, so we can discuss this properly later. Scott? When I got home from work, there were some divorce papers on the table. Would you mind telling me what the heck is going on?
I think I made it pretty clear. We're getting a divorce. I had to go through the hassle of ordering the papers, so you could hand them in yourself. I'm busy.
I take it that means you have no interest in talking this through and saving our marriage then?
What's the point? You'd only talk down to me like some little kid, just like you always do. I'm mad as hell and I won't take it anymore. Besides, I have my mom. She's the only ally I need in my life. She always has my back and she's super smart, not like you. She said you're a liar too, which only strengthened my resolve. Hurry up and get out, liar!
Wow. You know what? I think it is actually better this way. Let's face it, I didn't exactly enjoy shelling out $1,000 a month to pay off your debts. I'm finally gonna be able to spend my own money again.
Fantastic, superb, tremendous, magnificent. We both get what we want. Win-win.
Good evening, Angela. I heard you finally did the right thing and agreed to the divorce.
If that's what he really wants, I'm not gonna get on my knees and beg. If we can't talk and work through problems as a team, what's the point in being married anyway?
I see you're just as arrogant as ever. How dare you take such a haughty attitude with me and my son, despite being in so much debt you owe $1,000 a month in repayments. You've got some nerve to look down on your husband when he's the one paying it off for you. You wouldn't have anything to eat or a roof over your head if not for him. Get your things together and go.
What? He's paying off my debt, feeding me, and putting a roof over my head? What planet are you on? You are aware I work every single day, aren't you?
Of course I'm aware, you pompous little upstart. However, there's no way whatever paltry wage you bring in with that pitiable part-time job could possibly sustain a family. Even a monkey could understand that Scott, who works at a major company, is the one holding everything together. He probably makes more in a day than you do in a week.
Ugh. I knew it. You have no idea Scott hasn't been going to work for the last year, do you?
Get with the times already. He's probably working remotely. I'm fully aware of how working life has changed over recent years. I might be old, but that doesn't make me ignorant. I don't have to confirm every little thing with my son to know what he's doing.
Interesting. I see. Your ignorance is actually impressive. You two are really alike.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Anyway, I'll be moving out tomorrow. I'm in the process of getting my things together right now, so you'll probably hear some banging in the night. I hope it doesn't bother you too much.
That's fine. It'll sound like a relaxing lullaby when I remember it's the sound of the odious witch who catapulted my son into financial ruin, finally removing herself from his life. Hurry up and get gone!
Okay, Scott, I'm all done packing. This is it. I'm leaving.
Vroom, vroom. The big fire truck go vroom. Huh? Who did that? Oh, Angela. All right. Whatever.
I handed in the divorce papers last night, so me and you are strangers now. We'll never see each other again after today. This month's debt repayment is due tomorrow. Make sure you don't forget, okay? Don't come crying to me if you're struggling to keep up, because I won't be helping you anymore.
You're annoying. I'm sleepy. Just go away. Let me sleep, damn it.
Fine. Have it your way. Goodbye forever, Scott. Lydia, I'm leaving now.
Big creamy milkshakes. Pizza dipped in chocolate. Lard sandwiches. Cola. Huh? What? Angela, I'm trying to sleep. Get lost. Message me later.
Whatever. Have a nice life. Goodbye.
Angela, pick up the phone! This is an emergency! I'll repeat, this is an emergency! We have to get married again immediately! I need you to keep helping me with the debt repayments!
Excuse me?
My mom got it wrong! Oh boy, did she get it wrong! She got it wrong, so I think my life might be over! I had no idea, but it seemed she was convinced the debt was yours. She had it in her head that I was the one shelling out $1,000 a month to cover your repayments. That's why she thought that if I divorced you, I wouldn't have to help you get out of the mountain of debt she thought you were in anymore, and I could finally attain financial freedom. That's why she told me to divorce you. Oh my God, I thought she had some kind of genius trick up her sleeve, but turns out she was just making a huge misunderstanding.
Yep. I knew that.
What?
I did my best to set her straight. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't in any debt, and that I was in fact the one helping you with your repayments, but it went in one ear and out the other. I did consider explaining to her how it seemed unfair for me to pay off your debts, given how you're the one who got yourself into this mess in the first place. But she was being so confrontational and aggressive, I didn't think there'd be any point. So the plan was to discuss it among the three of us once she calmed down. Then she told me you wanted a divorce, so I was like, meh, what's the point? Now I've completely washed my hands of you both, and wow, does it feel liberating. My financial burden disappeared overnight. I've had a giant Scott-shaped boulder lifted off my shoulders. Who would have thought that divorcee life could be so fun?
No way you didn't, did you? Did you hand in the divorce papers?
Yep, I handed them in the night you left them on the table. I did try and tell you, but I think you were dreaming about fire trucks or something. We're officially strangers now.
This is bad, 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 really bad!
Angela! I'm so sorry. I made a huge mistake. I'm sorry. Please come back immediately. I apologized. So you'll come back, won't you? Won't you?
What?
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that Scott was the one in debt and not you? You had so many opportunities. And I had no idea it was my uncle who was originally covering the repayments.
That's because Scott chose not to tell you. I may have been your daughter-in-law, but it wasn't my place to tell you that kind of thing. That was your son's responsibility. I did at least make it very clear that the debt is Scott's and not mine. You're the one who kept interrupting and ignoring me whenever I tried to make you see sense, and you're the one who demanded we get a divorce based on your ridiculous misunderstanding. You're in no position to criticize me.
There's something else I can't get my head around. How on earth were you managing to keep up with $1,000 a month debt repayments working that crummy part-time job of yours in the first place? That's why I got the wrong end of the stick. You misled me.
I don't work part-time and I never once told you I did.
Huh?
I inherited my dad's restaurant chain when he passed away a few years ago, and I've been managing all 10 of his restaurants ever since.
You own a company? You?
Yes, me. I own a company.
I thought you worked part-time flipping burgers at McDonald's.
That's fascinating because I don't. You're so good at misinterpreting reality, it's worrying.
So that's how you were able to keep up with those enormous debt repayments.
By the way, how to break this to you. You might want to sit down for this one, Lydia. Are you ready? Scott's unemployed.
What?
He got into a fight with his boss last year when he mistakenly arranged a meeting with a major client for the wrong day. He stormed out in a rage when he got taken to task on it. He had ample opportunity to apologize, but he was so stubborn he chose to get fired rather than admit fault. He's been unemployed ever since.
Did he at least get a severance payment?
He did, but it disappeared straight away when he used it towards paying off his debts. He'd only been at the company a few years, and it was his own fault he got fired, so it wasn't much. I couldn't bring myself to see him stop making payments because he'd have been swallowed up by the interest, so I decided to start covering them for him. It was only supposed to be temporary.
Really? I see. Okay, I understand everything now. I'm sorry for everything I've done, Angela. Will you carry on making the repayments for him?
Excuse me?
Listen, I just got a phone call from my uncle. He said today's payment is late. Apparently he got a threatening email from the repayment company. Please see to it that today's payment of $1,000 gets made as normal.
Are you aware that me and Scott aren't married anymore? You're both strangers to me now.
But...
The real irony here is that you're the one who got him to divorce me in the first place. It's time the pair of you learned how to stand on your own 2 feet for a change. I think this could be a great opportunity for you.
Angela, please, don't do this. I'm set to retire next year. These repayments would eat up my pension so fast I'd be homeless before I knew it. My husband passed away years ago. How in God's name am I supposed to support myself, my unemployed son, and run a household on top of these mammoth debt repayments all on my own?
Goodbye, Lydia.
Angela!
Since the repayments were set to suddenly stop, I thought I should call Lydia's uncle, who'd been the one covering them before me, and make him aware of the situation. He was astonished when he found out it was me who'd been making the repayments this whole time, and I was even more astonished when he apologized and paid me back the entire sum. After a few more apology messages, he swore to teach Scott the meaning of personal responsibility by having him pay off the debts he'd racked up if it was the last thing he did. Last I heard, he was forcing them both to work at his garbage disposal company to come up with the money. Apparently, a few of the senior employees are pretty mean-spirited and take great pleasure in seeing just how far they can push the two of them. They're being worked to exhaustion on a daily basis, which I was told about in detail when they spammed me with messages begging me to come back. Naturally, I blocked them both. Lydia's uncle ended up confiscating their phones because they were constantly playing games on them instead of working whenever no one was looking. I tried to be as sympathetic and compromising a wife as I could be. But their attitude towards me, which was revealed through a huge misunderstanding, quickly made me change my mind, and by the end, I was just as eager to divorce as my husband was, or thought he was. I'm so pleased I decided not to correct his delusional mom. Whatever happens to them, they're on their own from now on.